Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I'm thrilled because this is you could hear the title of it, but not really understand the full breadth of what is going on here. There is a exhibit on the Jewish diaspora, Jewish identity, Jewish diversity, a photographic exhibition at Hostos Community College. So let's first welcome in Sofia Oviedo, who's the Director of Research Programs at Hostos. Nice to see you, Sofia.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having
And
me.
the photographer who is featured in this extraordinary exhibit is Zion Ozeri. Nice to see you, Zion.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too.
Yeah, we're thrilled that you've brought your work to the Bronx. Sophia, just talk a little bit about, in general, about the Hostos Research Center and why this particular exhibit really fit into what you try and do.
Yes, I'm happy to share. The Hostos Research Center is a new space that's been opened here at Hostos Community College to promote faculty and staff grants development, provide opportunities through internal grants to support new research and faculty student mentorship and development of student research opportunities. And the Research Center is a place where we want to showcase new learning, invite members of the Hostos community and the outside community to learn about diverse culture, to learn about research being done by our faculty, students, and staff, and really be this welcoming community space. And so we thought it would be a good way to showcase this exhibit, which is part of a CUNY anti-hate initiative, which is seeking to increase awareness and education about the diverse identities and experiences of different groups each academic year. And this year's focus is on the Jewish community and Asian American and Pacific Islanders community.
So this fits right into all of that. What other exhibits, or is this one of the first? You said it.
This is actually the first exhibit being
first
showcased at the Hostos Research Center.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, congratulations to all of you about doing that. Well, thank you very much. I'm assuming, because I've seen, and we're going to show off some of Zion's photographs, that you're thrilled because this really exemplifies everything that you talked about. So thank you so much, Zion. Just a little background from you. When did you start taking pictures, and then we can talk about how you got into this particular theme that you've done so well with.
Okay, so just as a matter of fact, I was born in Israel to parents who came from Yemen. They were immigrants from Yemen, and I grew up in Israel. But as soon as I was college age, so to speak, I decided to come, and after my service in the IDF, I decided to come to study photography and art. And the best place for it, I thought, and I still think, is New York City. So I came and I went first.
An argument from me, so go ahead.
Right. So I said, okay, and why not go and see another place in the world? I was basically up until then the only country that I was was there. It was only in Israel. So I decided to come to New York and study. I first went to FIT. And I graduated from FIT. And once I graduated from FIT, I decided that I want to continue with my education. And I went to Pratt Institute. Mm-hmm. And I graduated Pratt Institute as well. And then I started freelancing and working for newspapers, doing PR for all kind of organizations and companies. And that's what I started doing. Mm-hmm. That was the start of my career.
Let me just ask you something. I'm always interested in an artist's muse and an artist's craft and how you handle it. You studied it. Some people say, well, I realize you need to study the technology of lighting and those kinds of things. What kinds of things did you get out of that, frankly, rather extensive photographic formal education that we're going to see evidence of in just a moment?
Well, FIT was more about techniques, lighting, and really geared towards fashion photography, product photography. And that was excellent because it gave me that background. But then I wanted more the artistic, not that FIT was not artistic, but I wanted really more pure artistic background. And that's why I went to Pratt Institute. And that's kind of rounded my education and also broadened my education as far as like seeing art in general, not only photography, but also painting, sculpture, and other things of that sort. So that, to me, it was really, I thought, in looking back, backwards, I think I made the best really decision to have both, going to study in both
Right.
college.
Well, judging from the work, and I used the word breadth before, and the amazing range of this work. So just by way of introduction, before we show photos, so did you just happen upon this idea of doing the Jewish identity and Jewish diversity and the Jewish diaspora, or did you like kind of take pictures and say, "Oh, wait a minute, I think I have," after the fact, I have something here? Or was this really something that you said, I better go literally around the world to do?
No, it's evolved. The first thing that
Evolved.
really kind of was the first thing that kind of like opened my mind to that possibility is actually when on one of my visit to Israel, sitting with my parents who are much older than me, and I was looking at that generation that came from Yemen, and they were very unique, different in culture, and I was thinking to myself, this generation I don't look like them, but it's not only looking like them. We don't think like them. We are more westernized, and our mindset is different. And I thought to myself, wow, now that I appreciate my immigrant parents, and I'm like, really, they will not be on the scene too long. And I said to myself, you know what? Maybe I should go and document
and really document what. So let's start looking at some of the pictures. I just think it's just so extraordinary, mostly because if you were to talk to New Yorkers about Jewish people, they would have an image in their mind. Be prepared to not have that image anymore, because we're going to see Jewish people from all over the world. So Anderson selected the pictures, so let's see what he chose.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who is this?
This is a Holocaust survivor, actually, that fled Germany after the Holocaust and went to Argentina, Buenos Aires. And I heard that he was going around and lecturing as a volunteer in public schools in Buenos Aires, and I was very interested. When I came to his house, I was very talked to him, and I realized that really I'm not taking his photograph that day because it was not as meaningful as I was hoping for. And he was telling me that he felt that he really at the end won against the Nazis, because now he has a future. They wanted to deny his future, and now that he has children and grandchildren. So I said to him, you know what, I'll come another day and photograph you with your granddaughters.
What is interesting to me is he's from Argentina. And
Yes,
again, we don't, again, think of the stereotype you have of Jewish people in New York. We've already begun to break it. Let's see the next.
This is another photograph that I took, and people don't know of that history, even though it's in our time and it's contemporary. This one is in 1991, when I was very privileged to be invited and to take photograph of this airtrain that the Israelis brought Ethiopian Jews from Africa, from Ethiopia. And in 36 hours, they were able to bring in clandestine operation close to 15,000 Jews from, Black Jews from Africa. So I was privileged. And this guy was actually carrying his mother, who was paralyzed from the waist down. So he's carrying off the plane. And that's, that's when I took the shot.
I suppose I could come up with comments, but all I can do is take a deep breath. It's just an incredible story, and frankly, it's in a way universal to so many cultures, especially nowadays with everything going on. Let's take a look at another.
Oh, this is a father and son. Again, I always like the contrast. Like it reminds me of the contrast between my own father. And this guy repairs bicycles and motorcycles, and that's his father. And there was a connection in spite of the gap, between the generation. The son looked more, modern, and the father less so. And this is
and where are they? Where are they?
Uzbekistan.
In Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan, yeah, it's Central Asia.
Mm-hmm. In finding these people, did you like? I'm sure you did some research. Did you go around and how did you locate the people you wanted to photograph, or you just went into neighborhoods and found them?
No, I usually work, ahead of time because all these trips are costly, and I try to hire someone from within the community to lay the ground and
Right, to help you figure it out.
exactly, and take me
Right.
around, and also be a translator as well. Because
I want to show a couple more, and then we'll bring Sofia back into the conversation.
Okay, this is a group of foremothers that we can actually, see, and with their own children. Each one they just came from Africa, Ethiopia, and they're carrying. This is how they carry their babies. And this is in the background. You see Jerusalem. This is in Israel. They are actually in an absorption center because all immigrants, no matter where they come from, need to acclimate into the Israeli society to know how to go to the supermarket, to just to know the regular life. So this is
Right.
we call them absorption centers in Israel.
Wow. And one of the things when you go to the exhibit, folks, you'll be able to go and really take your time, because we're just kind of throwing them up there, but the faces and the context in which they are exist is just incredible. I think we got one more left. Do we have one more? We'll show one more. This one was fascinating to me.
Yes. Okay. So this is I decided, and I was lucky enough to travel to Yemen. Yemen. This is actually not today. Today it's almost impossible. It's too dangerous. But back then it was still dangerous. But I was able to go there, and I wanted to take a photograph of my father was a blacksmith in Yemen, and I found this guy that was still doing that work in Yemen, a Jewish guy.
It almost seems like he's in a cave of some sort, or
yes,
underground.
Some sort of a cave. That's where he works, and he's repairs tools. And I just that brought me back to my own father, who was a blacksmith in Yemen, and I'm sure that's how
we only have a minute left. Sofia, let's let you wrap it up. When you look at these pictures, this is exactly what you wanted to portray, isn't it? I mean, this is exactly what you defined at the beginning of the program.
Really, and they're beautiful because they show different facets of community, family.
I think your audio somehow messed up there. I don't know what happened. And I would just ask that question again.
Yes, so the photographs really portray everything that we would have envisioned, and even more in terms of showing Jewish community life, families, celebrations.
Wow. So just so we don't run out of time, the exhibit is at the Hostos Research.
The Hostos Research Center at 450 Grand Concourse, Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Wednesdays and Thursdays until 6. So it's open
through May 2nd. So there's still plenty of time to go. Take the train to 149th Street. Get out there, and treat yourself to learning about all of our cultures. That's what it's all about. Sofia, tremendous work. Thank you so much. And please let us know about every exhibit that you have.
Yes.
And Zion, whatever's next, let us know, because we want to know about it.
I will. And I just want to compliment Sofia and Phil and actually
the team.
The whole team, including the president of Hostos that had the vision. And
we're running out of time, so I do got to go. We also want to thank the CUNY Anti-Hate Initiative for everything, and the Covenant Foundation. Folks, thank you so much for joining us, and we thank Mariana from our first segment, and that will do it for the Bronx Buzz this evening. And if the curtain don't fall and the creek don't rise, we will be back next week.
Thank you.